Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting. It's Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence in memory of those that have gone before us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just as a reminder, we have a couple opportunities for public comment tonight. The first opportunity is public comment limited to agenda items only. If you would like to make a comment on any of the agenda items, please sign up on the back paper. Is there anybody on? No. Okay. And then the second opportunity is at the end of the meeting. It is open comment. I will just ask you if you're a resident or not, and then you can speak about whatever is on your mind. Tonight, we do have a couple of public hearings. So during those hearings, I will, for those specific items, ask for public comment on that item only at that time. So we'll go to consent items and approval of the minutes. Paula?
Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request that the minutes from January 24th, 2024 be approved by unanimous consent.
Okay, any opportunities? Thanks, Paula. Accounts payable, Kim?
Yes. Excuse me. The bills list for February 14th, 2024, total all funds, $2,597,058.77. I have the bills list for February 28th, 2024, total all funds, $1,032,874.84.
Thank you, Kim. And then we have a couple of resolutions, 24-4 and 24-5 for the snow emergency. Bob?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's required that we open and close states of emergency related to the two snow events. If I may, I move to approve Resolution R-24-4, declaring a state of emergency effective 1,200 hours, January 19 of this year, ending January 19 of this year at 23:15 hours. Would you like me to make the second one as well?
No, actually, we'll do them all as one big consent.
Very well.
For both.
I also move to approve Resolution R-24-5, declaring a limited state of emergency effective 900 hours, February 13th of this year, also ending February 13th of this year at 1,500 hours.
Thank you. If there's no corrections to the consent items, I'll accept a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the first public hearing to consider a zoning ordinance amendment related to accessory structures, keeping of chickens, and other miscellaneous changes. This is a public hearing, so I'll formally open the hearing. And that will be Paula.
Okay. Based on a periodic review of our ordinance requirements, this is a comprehensive zoning ordinance amendment that will change as follows. Number one, to eliminate an obsolete definition. 2, to allow decks and patios to encroach a maximum of 25% into the rear yard setback. This is a resident-friendly provision that will eliminate the time and expense of variance requests while still maintaining a significant setback to protect neighboring properties. Number 3, to allow structures such as gazebos and pool houses to meet the same setback as detached garages, thereby resulting in a more consistent and uniform application of the ordinance. Number 4, to allow the keeping of chickens in all zoning districts subject to specific criteria. Currently, our ordinance requires a minimum of 5 acres in limited districts within the township, which is restrictive given the trend for people to raise their own chickens. As a result, this amendment will address this issue while also including significant safeguards within the ordinance that will protect neighboring properties. 5, finally, criteria related to the special events will be removed from the zoning ordinance into a separate section of the code to establish a more comprehensive process to administer these events. Okay, as required, the proposed ordinance was properly advertised in the advance paper of Bucks County and has been available at the Township Building and the website. In addition, a copy of the County Planning Commission review is available. Finally, the Township Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for February 27th. Okay, I wish to make the following memo, please. I move to approval of ordinance number 617, amending the Northampton Township zoning ordinance for the purpose of amending sections related to definitions, accessory buildings, and structures, permitting and the keeping of chickens in all zoning districts, subject to specific criteria, and the deleting special event provisions. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Anything further, Paula?
No, Go chickens. I think, yeah, everybody should have some.
It's good.
They're great eggs.
Nothing, thank you.
No comments from me. Before I vote, is there any public comment on that? Come on up. I'll just state your name, and are you a resident of Northampton?
Lori Katz, yes, I am. What did we drop the 5-acre ordinance down to?
I think it's in there.
What was the question?
There
I'm
is
sorry.
no dimensional requirement now. It would be permitted in all.
You're not on.
There is no minimum lot size now, and it would be permitted in any residential district.
But there is a limit on the number of
There
chickens.
is a limit on the
Maximum
number.
of 6 chickens unless you have 5 acres, and over 5 acres, there's no minimum.
And no
what about
roosters.
roosters?
No roosters.
No roosters.
Okay. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Thank you all so much. That's really great. I appreciate that. I do understand that it's a trend, and I think that means a lot to a lot of people because of, being able to bolster our food, with eggs and so on. So thank you very much.
Sure. And no roosters. Any other public comment? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and I will close that hearing. Next is another public hearing considering an ordinance amendment to special events, boards, and commissions. I will open the hearing. Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In summary, the proposed ordinance amendment for consideration establishes an updated and more comprehensive process with respect to managing special events in the township. If I may make a motion.
Please.
I move for the approval of Ordinance 618, amending the Northampton Township Code related to special events and the membership requirements of the Planning Commission.
Is there a second?
Go ahead, you
I'll
second.
second.
Is there any public comment? Any board comment? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I close the hearing. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to our liaison reports. Kim.
Yes. First, I have Parks and Rec. There's still a few remaining spots in our half-day, full-summer Camp Explore program for elementary school children. Hurry to register. It's almost full. The spring-summer brochure will be hitting your mailbox soon. Be sure to check out our new teen makeup for prom class. For summer, look for over 21-week specialty camp offerings, including golf, tennis, theater, chess, basketball, and more. On Friday, February 2nd, the Parks and Rec Department offered Northampton Township's first Puzzle Palooza. 64 people from the ages of 20 to 64 competed in teams of 4 to be the first to complete a 500-piece puzzle in 2 hours. One team even made shirts for the occasion. The first team completed their puzzle in under an hour, winning a gift card to Gianni's. Participants left begging for more. The next Puzzle Palooza is scheduled for April 22nd, and the teams can now choose to compete in an advanced category. It was a fantastic event. Flower show tickets are still available at the Administration Building and the Rec Center at significant savings and the ability to go anytime you want instead of picking your date. The flower show takes place March 2nd to 10th on 2024. Don't miss it. Seasonal help is needed for summer of 2024. Parks and Recreation is seeking applications for camp counselors, lifeguards, and front desk at the swim club. Finally, the Parks and Rec Department is proud to announce we will be partnering with Northampton Valley Country Club to offer our residents an interactive murder mystery dinner right in their backyard. The first murder, a Golden Girls murder mystery, is scheduled for Saturday, May 18th. Ticket information coming soon. And our senior center. Spring can't arrive early enough for our seniors. A lot of planning is going into a variety of fun and exciting activities for the months ahead. Registration for the golf and billiards leagues begins in March, with games starting in April. Make sure to mark your calendars for Friday, April 19th from 5 to 8:30 for the annual Spring Fling shopping event. There will be over 50 vendors selling a variety of handcrafted jewelry, scarves, totes, home decor, candles, clothing, and more. If anyone is interested in becoming a vendor, please contact the Senior Center at 215-357-8199 or send an email to nhsc@nhtwp.com. For more information about the center and all the awesome activities that are offered, feel free to stop by for a tour. The center is located across from the library at 165 Township Road, and the hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 to 3:30, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 8.
All right,
That's it.
thank you, Kim. Paula?
Hi. Okay, I wanted to start with notifying people about the primary election. It's coming up on Tuesday, April 23rd. And you have to register to vote, and the deadline is Monday, April 8th, and you must be a United States citizen and a Pennsylvania resident for at least 30 days before the election, and you have to be 18. Okay, you can register in person at your county in Doylestown or by mail, voter registration website. Okay, and the last day to apply for a mail-in ballot or an absentee ballot is Tuesday, April 16, by 5 o'clock. Completed ballots must be returned by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, 23. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to mention that in case people don't have that in their mind. I want to talk about the library. To meet the needs of all of the township residents, the Free Library of Northampton Township has joined forces with 6 other county libraries to create the Community Library E-Cooperative of Bucks County. Okay, this is for Kindle formatted e-books. So we're all going to share there. The library offered its first ever introduction to Ancestry class in February to rave reviews. The class was full with a waiting list of 12 additional people, and a second class has been scheduled for March 4. It too has a full registration book. We are planning to offer an evening class in April as well. Okay, the Commonwealth increased its annual state aid to the library by a whopping 1% this year. The Commonwealth's public library subsidy piece of the annual budget hasn't yet returned to its 2008 amount, but public libraries have seen slight increases in monies over the last 2 years when the annual amount had remained stagnant. Okay, in January, we began to assemble committees to begin discussion and planning for the implementation of our new strategic plan priorities. Library board members are overseeing the committees, which currently include board members, library staff, Paula Gasper, and the director, Wayne Blair. Okay, so that's the library. A lot of things are going on there. Okay, I wanted to mention also and announce the town hall, the Veterans Town Hall meeting that is here in right here in this building, in Northampton Township building, and we're asking all veterans to attend if they can. We're going to have a question and answer time frame. We're going to discuss lots of things, and how do you process your ID card, how you can get in veterans benefits in a hospital. So there'll be plenty to discuss. That's Monday, March 18. It's a Monday at 7 p.m. right here in the Township Building. Okay, I want everybody to know about that. You don't have to be a vet to attend, of course. Okay, and the vet help is available for veterans and their families that are facing challenging times. There's a vet temporary assistance program. It's called VTA. Okay, and it provides financial assistance to those vets and their families. The Northampton Advisory Commission, Veterans Advisory Commission, has been discussing the use of a fully restored and flyable United States Army Huey helicopter. Okay, it's a special thing. We are planning to have it available, possibly, for certain events, like, for instance, Northampton Days or Memorial Day in October. So we're excited about that. And I think that's pretty much it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do have one report on behalf of the municipal authority. I think a number of us on the board have been fielding questions about a recent fee related to their billing practices. In the past reports, I've referenced that the authority engaged an outside vendor to provide a new website as well as a payment portal. And in response to the inquiries we've received about the fees, I wanted to remind everyone of what the portal now permits, and note at the onset, most importantly, there is a one-time $1.25 fee that could not be lowered or negotiated further. So for those who have inquired about the fee, it is a one-time fee, and the portal will allow the following. Residents may sign up for e-bills electronically. You may use your mobile device to pay by text. You may sign up for a recurring auto pay with no fee for EFT payments. Emails, payment schedulers, and customer engagement protocols are part of the format of the new system, and electronic bank portal payments without a paper check from your bank are allowed for receipts in 24 to 48 hours. If there are further questions or inquiries, you may reach out to Jean Nocito at jnocito@nbcma-pa.org, or she may be reached at 215-357-8515. She would be happy to address any further questions or comments about the fee, but I will reiterate, it is a one-time fee that could not be further negotiated with the outside vendor. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bob. Mr. Moore is not here tonight. Just for myself, I just wanted to make mention that you've probably watched the news and heard the sirens. We've had 3 serious fires in the last week, unfortunately, 2 of them in Northampton and 1 of them in Newtown. One of them resulted in a fatality. That was the one in Newtown. But we did have 2 serious ones in Northampton also. I just want to remind everybody to make sure that you have working smoke detectors in your house. Smoke detectors will give you enough warning to get out. I'm not really sure of the situation on all 3 of those fires, but I do know that at times there were not working detectors. So please take a few minutes to do that. If you need help with your smoke detectors, if you're not sure where to put them, or you need help hanging them, call the fire department and we will come do it as a service for you. We'll make arrangements to come to your house, and we'll bring a ladder and some tools, and we'll help you put the detectors up. What I'd suggest buying smoke detectors is you get 10-year detectors. You don't have to change the battery for 10 years, so kind of set it and forget it, at least for 10 years. But really, really important for the safety of yourself and your family and your property. That's all I have tonight.
Okay, I just wanted to comment quickly on what Mr. Salzer had mentioned about the water bill. I do think a lot of our older residents are concerned if there is a change in their fee or in their actual water amount they're using, they'll automatically be billed. But I think, you know, they won't have a chance to look at it like they would discriminate before this happened. So I want to make sure that they know they can call that number, the Water Authority number, the 357-8515, extension 107, if they have any questions about signing up for online. It is 2024, but I know it's sometimes it's a little hard to pay without knowing how much you're going to be paying the next time. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, so everyone's aware, the number and name I referenced, Ms. Nacito is the new Director of Finance. She's also a longtime Northampton resident, so she's,
Oh, good.
we'll say,
Yeah.
receptive to the changes that occurred a number of years ago and is happy in my dealings with her to address any concerns any residents have. And I'm happy to reiterate the contact information, 215-357-8515, Jean Nacito.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Paula. Managers report, Bob?
Nothing formal to report, but I would like to recognize our Public Works Department for the great job that they did in the last snowstorm, as they always do. We haven't had a lot of snow in the last few years, but they are certainly not out of practice, and that showed very well in the last storm. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Assistant Manager, Bill?
Nothing to report tonight, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Solicitor, Joe?
No report this evening, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Engineers report, Amanda?
Yeah, just a quick update on the township's MS4 obligations. As you may recall, the township is required to hold an NPDES permit through DEP for the municipal separate storm sewer system, which is all the inlets and piping throughout the township. The permit is issued on 5-year cycles, so we were notified last week that DEP has tentatively approved our permit renewal for the next 5 years, contingent upon a 30-day public comment period. So, not the most compelling information, but still an obligation nonetheless. So we should be hearing in the next, 30 to 45 days, I would imagine, regarding that permit renewal. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Before I go to public comment, I did miss one thing in my report, sorry, but to come back. This has to do with the country club. So just as a reminder, in 2024, we've implemented a resident discount for golf and all the associated golf fees. So it's for residents, it's for first responders, police, fire, and EMS. It's for active military and for veterans. You do have to show ID, but it is a discount for that group. And we're excited to finally be able to support that as the golf course. And that business has started to recover from the rough COVID years. Going to public comment now. I'll call you up first. Jim, is that Sims? Sims, thanks, Jim. Hi. Just state your name for the record in the microphone, if you don't.
Yeah, it's Jim Sims.
And I see you are a resident. Thank you.
Yes, I am. I want to thank the board for all the hard work you do. But I think we have a problem that's developing. And there's a lot of people in our township who are on fixed income. They're retiring. The baby boomers are retiring. And there are things that we can do to help offset expenses. And I'm going to use the firehouses, for example. I come out of the construction field. I'm a developer. There are materials and different things that could be used to actually save money. And I'll give you one example. I used to own an elevator company, which I sold to a Fortune 500 company. The elevator you have, if it's the one that I heard it is, has proprietary equipment on it. Not only that, it's a belted system, a fairly new type of design, and it has a bend cycle in it. So every million cycles or whatever it is, you have to have the suspension system changed. It's going to be very costly. There's only one place to source it in the whole country, and the company that manufactured it bought a supply house, and that's where you have to source it. So even if you went with someone independently, it's going to cost you more money. My point of what I'm getting at is there are people like me with expertise. There's no way you would know who I am. You should create a database or something where we can communicate with one another. When there are major projects, people within the township could link up with you and give you some advice. You may want to throw it in the trash can, but at least the advice is there. There are other people that have businesses, from educational businesses, all different types of things that you may use. And I'm talking about industrial types of training and things that are required. We can't link up with you. And if we could save money, just that elevator system is going to have a monthly maintenance on it, and it has to be tested once a year, and then it has to be a full load test every 5 years. It's a very costly elevator to maintain. So my point is, had someone came to me, I could have told you all the pitfalls for free. I don't want to do the job, but I at least can dump my knowledge on you. And I guess in closing, I'm not really happy about the tax increase because of these fire stations. I truly believe that there are materials out there that are equally as good as what you used that could save money when it was built. But nonetheless, now we're rolling it all together, and the people in the township are going to have to pay for it. I'm just begging you to start looking into not just the cost of something, but the cost of maintaining it, like the 40 acres that they're looking at developing. There's going to be a cost to maintain those 40 acres if they approve developing that with pickleball courts, and the people that live over there, they don't want it. So I look at Warminster. What did they do? They got a grant, knocked all those houses down from the old Army barracks. Then they got another grant and ripped up all the slabs, and it basically developed passive walking trails. We have Del Val College right in our backyard here. Why not partner with them to do some type of an agricultural thing on that 40 acres that would benefit our community and teach students something that would maybe earn a little income, as opposed to spending all this money to maintain another sports complex. And believe me, my kids grew up, went through sports. I donated almost 20 years of my life to Little League and different sports. I ran your Babe Ruth League for close to 10 years. I've been involved in this township, and I'm just telling you that I know the budgets that we spend over on the baseball fields at CC1 and all those places. It's expensive. So why are we looking? I'm hoping this board can talk to Park and Rec and say, no, let's go a different way here. Let's do a different study and do something that's going to benefit the citizens and hold our costs down. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. And also, just thank you for all those years you spent volunteering in the community. That's pretty appreciable. Yeah, it is fun. Thank you. Next, Renee Fagan. Just say your name in the microphone, please. Thanks.
My name is Renee Fagan, and I'm a resident of Northampton.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you all. Okay, I'm a little nervous. I apologize. I will make this quick. As I said, I'm a resident here, and I'm coming here tonight with the goal of receiving your assistance for a proposal for a referendum to be placed on the Northampton ballots in the upcoming November election. As we are all aware, our election system over the last few years has become a topic of national security due to allegations of election interference from foreign adversaries, both in the 2016 and 2020 elections. The threat of cyber attacks from foreign adversaries like Russia, China, Iran, and others are on the rise, and they have the rise in the 2024 election. Bucks County and Pennsylvania have been the victims of cyber attacks that have caused harm to our communities. Iran-backed cyber groups attacked our water system, our 911 communication systems, our county computer systems that contain public personal data, as well as the Pennsylvania court system. DHS, who is designated to protect our elections, was hacked themselves. About a month ago, there was a National Sheriff training session in which FBI Director Christopher Wray, along with several federal agencies, warned the attending sheriffs that foreign adversaries were going to attack our national and our local elections. Sheriffs were, quote unquote, encouraged to speak with their local election officials and be prepared as much as they can for cyber attacks. You are to be prepared, end quote. My proposed referendum would give each citizen the option to do their part, if they so choose, to be prepared and to be proactive, considering the very real foreign cyber attack warnings we are receiving from our intelligence and law enforcement agencies about our elections. I propose that we add an option box on each ballot that would allow the voter to designate their cast ballot to be counted by hand and not be put through the tabulation machines, which is vulnerable for cyber attack. Again, this simple measure will restore the confidence and trust that many citizens of Northampton want to have with their government. Our foreign adversaries see us as a divided people. This proposal will allow us to come together on this critical threat. I do not believe the citizens of Northampton Township want our elections or our votes to be vulnerable to cyber interference from foreign adversaries like Russia, China, and Iran. I ask you all to please consider this referendum, as it does exactly what is being asked of us by our intelligence and law enforcement agencies. They are asking us, the people, to be prepared, be proactive, and to protect our precious vote. This referendum in no way conflicts, by the way, with state constitution or any of the acts or laws that are that govern our elections, and the simple addition to the ballot is just with the voter and the person who counts the vote, and per the People Referendum Handbook, Northampton Board of Supervisors can request such a referendum for their people. Thank you. I'm shaking.
You did great. You did fine. You did well. Thank you for the comments. You know, the security of our elections is important, I know, to all of us. I'm just going to ask Mr. Pizzo. He is our resident election expert, and he can probably shed some light for you for a couple minutes.
I don't know that there's much light I can shed other than to say that under the state election code, each of the counties in the Commonwealth administer the elections in each of the counties. Those respective boards of elections follow the mandates, follow the requirements of the election code in terms of how voter registration is handled, how elections are run, how votes are canvassed. And so at this level, for the township, for Northampton Township to do a referendum, which would, if it were something we could do, and I'm not sure it is, but it would still only be binding within our township. And again, the responsibility for directing how the election is run is done at the county level. So what you're suggesting, I don't believe would be precluded by the state election code, but it would have to be something that's directed at the county level and from the county. It's not something that we're just not we don't run our own independent election here in Northampton. All of the mail-in ballots are processed at the county level by the process that they follow pursuant to the election code. Locally, the machines are operated here, but when the materials are done, they're all sent up to Doylestown and canvassed in Doylestown pursuant to the mandates of the state election code. So what you're asking for, and again, I don't know that the state election code allows it. I also don't know that the state election code precludes it. But it was something that would have to be done at the county level, not at the township level. Certainly.
Thanks, Joe. Lori? Just say your name again for everybody. Thanks.
Katz.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to elevate our Northampton Township citizens' awareness about a press conference that happened on February 7th, given by Sheriff Richard Jones of Butler County, Ohio. I encourage our residents to search for that press conference online and listen to it. It's about 17 minutes. This is relevant to us because it stemmed from a national sheriff's conference in D.C., where sheriffs from all states were briefed by the FBI director and other officers on crime and national security, border crimes, gangs, drugs, terrorism, cyber attacks, etc. The message was not if, but when. This comes down to preparation. I'd like to know what we have in place in Northampton Township regarding emergency preparedness, and if the supervisors are willing to pull together a town hall-style meeting for citizens of Northampton Township to ask relevant questions of our Northampton Township Police, our county sheriff, and other emergency services like fire and rescue. I know that our House Rep, Kristen Marcel, had a very successful and well-attended safety hearing right here in this room on October 12th for our citizens of our county. Can you pull something together for us in the next month and a half, please? It would be very much appreciated by our residents, myself included. Also, as a side note, I'm concerned because Bucks County is a sanctuary county. I found that information on CIS.org. We've been a sanctuary county since 2014. Please look it up yourselves and see. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I think that people should know that. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori. We have no other names on our list, so with no other business, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Oh. Thank you.
5 minutes.
3.
My name is Ranjan Mukherjee in Northampton. Thank you very much for your hard work. It's greatly appreciated. I have lived long enough to know that, first, I don't have a prepared speech, so it'll be short. I know that prices usually go up, rarely do they come down. So I'm actually following up from the statement the first speaker made eloquently. From what I understand, our township mills has increased from like 21.6 to around 28, which is roughly a 30% increase. So I'm a retired senior on a fixed income. Costs are very important to me. Is there any way that you can manage that, decrease it, or offset it by any means possible, as the gentleman said? If it is for the fire hall, and I know fire halls are firemen and important. We had 3 fires, as you said. But maybe rent out a hall for banquets or birthdays or any way that you can offset the cost to decrease that rise. That would be extremely helpful for retirees like me.
Thank you. You want to say something?
I can.
No, I thought you had the microphone on. Thank you for your comments. Sorry. Could you just maybe give Lisa your name at the end of the meeting, because it's not on our list? Thanks. All right. Anybody else real quick? Without any further business, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.